Yeah, milk supply seems to be up. The data coming out is suggesting that it's still strong in the UK, albeit the last 3 or 4 weeks it seems to be certainly curtailing a little bit. A lot of the processors are very worried about this summer flush. So there's a feeling that there's going to be a huge volume of milk right at the peak of the market. There's a lot of nervousness around this, both at farmer and processor level, and certainly there's, yeah, well, let's put it this way: you've been written to by your processing group asking you to curtail your volume of milk. So yeah, there's real pressure out there. We're probably around 20p, which I think current exchange rates is probably 24, 25 cent. It's going to be down in April. It's going to be down a penny. And then there's talk of another 2 pence in May. We're talking 17p, around 20 cent-ish for May. That's where we're at. And generally that's where the overall market is. The market in the UK is a lot more fragmented than Ireland. So you've got people who are on line contracts and they're getting close to 30p, and you have people who are on spot milk price, and they could be getting anywhere from 12 to 15p. So look, it's a very fragmented market, but generally speaking, it's sitting somewhere around 20p with quite a considerable downside yet to come. But I certainly think when it goes to 17p, yeah, the whole market will be losing. There'll only be a very small percentage of operators who are making any money at that level. I suppose a lot of the analysis would say, cost of production at 28p, 30p was the talk 2 years ago. As the market has dropped, you find that the cost of production has dropped along with it. I think probably the better operators are sitting somewhere around 20p. The average is probably sitting slightly higher, maybe 23 or 4p. You'll certainly have people up there at 30p as well. They're trying to drive their cost base down, and yeah, they're trying to drive out more milk. Some people have moved to 3 times a day milk, and yeah, now you are seeing it's fragmented. Like some people have gone down the route of trying to reduce cost, and there has been a number of people change their system, like go to once a day and different sort of tactics. You have other people who've gone the opposite way; they've gone 3 times a day and tried to drive more output. So there's been different approaches. We've taken a good chunk of costs out of the system. The next sort of layer of cost that we would have to take out would be sort of expansion costs. So we're rearing more heifers than we need or whatever. So it would involve a system change for us to knock another layer of costs. In other words, we'd have to reduce our stocking rate, reduce our feed input, reduce our placement rates, and then all the sort of filter through costs associated with all that. Are we going to do that? We're certainly talking about it. We're not going to do it quite at this point. We probably don't need to just yet. Yeah, look, I mean, is this the new norm? If it is, we're going to make changes. If it's not, we'll see. We'll ride it out like everyone else. I fundamentally believe supply is going to fall off. The UK is a relatively open economy. I don't see the government getting hugely involved in supporting the situation. So inevitably, people who can't survive at the lower levels are going to drop out. Supply is going to drop in the short to medium term. I would guess, again, as I was saying, I could be very wrong with this, but my sort of view will be that supply will drop off. It hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of cows in the system. It may not happen even this year. But, I mean, the consequences of it are certainly going to filter through. I mean, the thing about Ireland and the UK and some of these older, maybe sort of farming economies that have been restricted by quotas, and they've got a lot of inherent wealth in them. There's a lot of equity in these businesses. They're not necessarily forced to make rapid changes like a tradition, like another business model might be. So they do have quite a lot of equity, and they're going to be given quite a lot of leeway by banks because they've got so much equity. There's a very low bad debt ratio historically across Ireland, across the UK. It's very different in America, very different than New Zealand. I don't see as rapid changes happening in this side of the world as maybe what would happen in America, for example. Isn't it individual, specific to every business? If you want to produce more and you can make a return off it, look, yeah, I would say go for it. It's going to be it's got to be individual to every single business. I suppose, look, in terms of actually talk of reintroduction of quotas and everything, I mean, to me, like it's a huge step backwards, because ultimately it's gonna take the pressure off areas that can then fill the void. It's gonna young people, like I've got some great young lads in the team, and they're absolutely enthusiastic as hell. Quota was reintroduced. Do you think those guys are going to stick around? They're not going to stick around. How are we going to get talent into the industry? I mean, the consequences of it, yes, there's some negative issues that have happened because of quota going. Certainly, it has compounded the downward spiral currently in. But look, in the long run for businesses in Ireland, if they're globally competitive, withstand this, they can sharpen their business. Why can't businesses in Ireland move into the vacuum that will inevitably be created by the current downturn?